All right, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins here a little bit. This is a team heading into the offseason with a lot of momentum. Obviously, when they're healthy, when Tua is healthy, when a lot of these playmakers on the offensive side of the ball are healthy, they are clicking. They were a high-scoring team last year, and the future looks bright for Miami, certainly on the offensive side of the ball. But I got some very interesting news about the defensive side of the ball that could prove to be just as critical for the Dolphins going into the future. But before I get into that, Dolphins fans, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Give me one rookie, or potential rookie, a guy coming out of college into the draft class in 2023 that you want the Dolphins to pick up, a guy you've got your eye on, maybe a little sleeper pick that you think is going to be a real stud in the NFL. Let us know one guy you've got your eye on in the comment section below. But all right, obviously the Miami Dolphins finished off last season with a disappointing playoff loss. They played well. They gave it a good go at it, but they just fell to the Buffalo Bills. Frankly, you're starting your third-string quarterback. You gave it the best effort you could have at that point. But the future definitely looks bright for Miami. They're making all the right moves to kind of retool everything, especially the defense. They brought in Vic Fangio, which is an outstanding hire. But there's actually a newer development here that I think could be just as critical to the Fangio hire. So this was first reported on ProFootballTalk.com here. Adam Schefter of ESPN reports that Ronaldo Hill is leaving his post as the Chargers defensive coordinator, right, head of the defense, in order to join the Dolphins coaching staff. Hill will be the defensive pass game coordinator in Miami. So think about that. He's taking a demotion, right? He was a defensive coordinator with the LA Chargers. Now he's just going to be the defensive pass game coordinator. That's obviously a demotion. Fangio's defensive coordinator. That's very important. Hill worked for defensive coordinator Vic Fangio for 2 years when Fangio was head coach in Denver, before Hill went into the Chargers when Brandon Staley, who also worked under Fangio, became their head coach. And for those of you who aren't familiar, there is a picture of Ronaldo Hill during a press conference with Los Angeles Chargers. All right, why this is big. I absolutely love when teams get young, talented, smart, up-and-coming coaches, and they find a way to get them on their roster, right? Because these guys usually have their pick of positions where they want to go. Every single team in the NFL is looking for the next great offensive or defensive mind, young guy to revitalize either side of the football. That's what everybody's looking for. Ronaldo Hill looks like he was that kind of guy under Vic Fangio's leadership, right? Looks like an up-and-comer guy. Goes to the Chargers under Staley, becomes their defensive coordinator. Big promotion. This guy's a former NFL guy, NFL vet, a lot of experience. Seems to be the next great NFL defensive mind, next great potentially head coach in a few years from now. But what does he do? He goes to the Miami Dolphins. He takes a demotion to coach with Vic Fangio under Mike McDaniel and Fangio for the Dolphins. To me, that tells me that the Dolphins right now have a lot of energy behind them, a lot of momentum. People want to go to Miami, right? And obviously a lot of that has to do with the offensive side of the football, with what Mike McDaniel has done there. But I think a lot of that shows how smart the Vic Fangio hire was, because he's considered such one of the brighter defensive minds in all of football, one of the guys who just really knows ball, really loves football. Players love playing for him. And you have a guy like your Ronaldo Hill, former player, really experienced, up-and-comer, right? Knows how to coach players. He wants to go and coach under Fangio. It reminds me a little bit of what's going on with the Detroit Lions, where everybody just seems to gravitate behind that organization. I think we're seeing the same kind of thing here with the Miami Dolphins, because there really is no reason, if you think about it from Ronaldo Hill's career perspective, to take a demotion to go work under Fangio, because Fangio has come out and said, listen, I want to coach for another decade. It's not like Fangio's waiting to retire and waiting to hand the keys off to somebody else. Fangio's like, hey, listen, I could be here for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years. I want to keep coaching. So it's not like Ronaldo Hill's just, okay, I'm going to come here, and in 2 years, I'm going to be the defensive coordinator, and in 2 years, I'm going to be a head coach somewhere. He just really wants to coach under Fangio. And that tells you how smart of a guy he is, how talented of a leader he is, and how much the players around him react to him, because Ronaldo Hill, obviously being a former player, would be drawn to that. And it really reminds me of the old Steve Jobs, of course, the founder and CEO of Apple, the late, great Steve Jobs. He always said A players, when he talked about employees, A players want to play with A players. And that translates over to professional sports and football as well. A coaches and A players, actual players in this case, want to play and want to coach with other elite level coaches. And when you have a guy like Hill, who appears to be an elite up-and-comer, like really impressive young defensive mind, former player, he wants to coach with elite level coaches. And Fangio is seen as an elite level coach. He wants to coach elite level players. He thinks the Miami Dolphins, and I think rightly so in the secondary, if Byron Jones can finally stay healthy, has an elite level secondary. He wants to compete against elite level talent. The Miami Dolphins look like a playoff team. They're going to be going up against elite level talent. So when you factor all that in, you see the momentum building behind the Miami Dolphins organization right now. And it's absolutely just trending like they're going to be an absolute world beater next year. And it's one of these kind of like little low-key, under-the-radar moves that people don't really think about, going into the season. But getting young, talented coaches on your staff, proving that your guys running the offensive, in this case, the defensive side of the football, know what they're doing and are great fits. Those are kind of things that build the offseason workouts, the OTAs, the training camps, the game planning, the practices, the in-game adjustments, all those little details that push teams over the top. They kind of start happening now. And that's what we're seeing from the Miami Miami Dolphins. And if I was a Dolphins fans right now, I tell you what, I could not be more excited from what I'm seeing from the organization right now.